Yolan True, and welcome to another exciting day in our galaxy, and welcome to another episode of our little A to Z officer series. But before I talk about our next rare officer, I just want to say, if you're not a subscriber of my channel yet but do like my videos, then please do subscribe to my channel, and when you do, also click this little bell and all notifications so you will be notified when another video comes out. But now let's take a look at Rima. He is class command, which means you need command badges to upgrade him. He's from the group Khan's crew, which means if he's captain, he can get synergy from others of that crew, or he can give synergy to another captain of that group if he's on the bridge with him, for example, to Khan in Khan's crew. And he's from the faction Augments, which means you need independent credits to upgrade him. And I sometimes read that people get independent credits so often. I really get them much less than I get faction credits. Despite what I read in some comments, that's how it works with me. I get loads of faction credits. That's why I already have about 150, 160 Rotaran blueprints, although I just became a legend. But I'm really low on independent credits still. Nevertheless, if you want to know more about Rima, as an augment, you know what that means if you know Star Trek. There is a nice text in here as well. You know that there's always a text about the officers in this info box. Some longer, some shorter, especially the ones from the series usually have longer texts, but this was kind of a medium one. As you already could hear, he does have a captain maneuver, and that's "you'll pay for that." Sounds a little bit revengeous. Is that an English word anyway? That's always the non-native speaker problem for me. You'll pay for that means at the start of each round, if the ship has a hull breach, Rima increases the damage of the ship by 40% for this round. So it's another captain maneuver that needs a prerequisite. The good thing about these things is he needs hull breach, other need burning or morale. There's more ways nowadays to get them since they introduced the lower deck officers, because now you even have lower deck officers that bring, for example, hull breach. And his officer ability is systems critical. That means at the start of each round, if the ship has a hull breach, Rima adds 15% to critical hit chances. So in a combination with officers that do bring the hull breaches, Rima is one of those officers that can increase your critical hit, and that's the point where you have to think about really using him. You will probably have Rima quite early in the game, before you have the more fancy officers that need more shards, are harder to get and everything. And at some point you really need critical hit, not against the Zindi before you did the favors, but for example, against the Gorn, because you also need critical hit to boost the isolytic damage. If you score a critical hit, the isolytic damage will be higher as well, of course. And so if you don't have you, for example, that's very good for that, and some others, you might want to think about using Rima there. I don't, but because I have you for that purpose, but it could be the choice for others who don't have you yet. And of course, as a rare officer, he does have 2 away team assignment traits. That's augment and charismatic. Haven't leveled him up too much yet because there's so many to level and so few XPs. I need the next event when it comes up to level Jean-Luc Picard a bit more, because I want to use the archaeologist. That's why I'm not using them on Rima, although I've got 26k. But I still send him out if I need an augment. As you can see on the bottom left, he is out on an away team assignment at the moment, and that's what I'm using Rima for nowadays, because I have better officers for what he can bring. But as I said earlier in the game, he might be quite useful for you, especially in the combination with others from Khan's crew. If you want to get him, you have 2 ways. One is right here in the normal recruitment section, and there we have to go to the ultra recruit section, but we will have to scroll a bit, and that's always the issue with the ultra recruit section, there are so many offices in here that it is not very easy to get a certain officer. The tokens, in time you will get a lot of them. You see I've got another 40k now. But the amount of officers here makes it hard, of course, to get shards for a certain officer. If you want to have it easier, you have to go to the augment faction. And so we leave the officers for a second and go to the augment faction, because there are 2 recruit sections in there as well. And in the awoken augment recruit, there you will find Rima as well. So with augment credits here that you earned by exchanging data, for example, you can get the shards for Navi, for Pan, and for Rima here. And so you just have 3 different offices in here, so the chances are higher to get Rima shards. And if you are successful, because it's all only chances, then you will get 2 shards at once. And so it's not that hard to unlock him once you've got the Botany Bay. And when you do the exchanges here, then it's easier. I have a lot of those already, so when I do that here, we can do that quickly, then it usually ends like this, that I just get another set of transporter patterns, which are far more helpful. You know how much I like the transporter patterns. But of course I would like to know from you, how are you using Rima if you've got him? Are you using him at all? If yes, how? But even if you just have questions in general or video requests, you know that I regularly read your comments. And if you want to see another video right now, the next one is right here in the end screen. I'll see you there. I'll be back.